Welcome everyone. Today we're doing front shocks on a 2012 Chevy Cruze. It still has the original shocks on it, but after I think it's got 197,000 on it, I figured it was time for a new set of shocks. So, only need just a few things to do this. We'll go over here and check our list. Doing this out in the driveway because, as you can see, we do not have a garage. So, very easy project as long as the day is halfway nice. Shouldn't take but a couple hours. So you're gonna need two sets of jacks. One to pick the car up, one to pick up the front control arm to help with the installation and removal. As far as the tools are concerned, a jack stand just for safety, a torque wrench to torque everything down. These are the old ones. I've already got done with it. Just going over and redoing the intro. So you are going to need a spring compressor tool, the coil spring compressor. You can rent these at any auto parts store or you can buy them. I think they're just like 20-30 bucks, something like that. Not too bad. You are going to need an 18mm wrench. You are going to need some kind of push pin to get the bolts out through the front arm. As far as sockets, we are going to need a 19mm. That gets the lug nuts. The 19 does. The 18mm gets the sway bar, the front sway bar link, and the bolts for the shock itself for the lower bolts. And then that's what this push is for. Once you get them through, then you take this and you just kind of help push the bolts through there because they're a little stiff. And you are going to need a 24mm. That does the top of the bolt that you get up through the engine compartment. And there's a cap that goes on there, and then there's another bolt that holds everything together, and you'll see that as we go on. You probably will need a extension. A couple inches is all you really need. I use a battery impact. You could use an air impact. You could also use just a regular ratchet. It doesn't really matter, but the battery makes it a little faster and a little easier. And you will need a little persuader. You don't really need it. It just kind of helps move some of the bolts through because they're serrated edges and they get stuck in here. So you just kind of need to kind of tap them out. So there's no big persuasion, just a little bit. So of course, first thing we got to do is jack it up. And I use one of these rubber isolators on top of the jack to go on the pinch weld so we don't have any problems. We don't want to crush those. Alright, so after we get it jacked up, we're just going to take the hubcaps off on 19mm. Now we take the wheel off. Same thing. Alright, so now we can see what we have to do. We gotta disconnect our hose. It just pulls off. Disconnect our two bolts. One for the sway bar. And that should be about it. Now the one on top has got this bolt up here with a Torx head in it. We might be able to just zip it off and be fine, but we shall see. So let me get some tools and I'll be right back. Okay, so it is an 18mm for all the nuts under here. For this nut, for that nut, and for that nut. Okay, so for the one on top though, it is a, sorry for the shadow, gotta love the light. It is a 24 millimeter that'll go on top. And all we do is we just zip them off if we need to. It's an 18 millimeter wrench on the back side of the bolt. We'll get them off and we'll go from there. I already pulled the line off right there. It just pulls straight up. So we'll get them off and I'll get back to you. Okay, I got the bolts off. I got them pushed out. Now, in order to get the sway bar link, to get the sway bar link to get loose, I had to put another jack and jack up from underneath to relieve the tension. And once I did that, you'll see it when it gets loose and this thing just pushes out and goes over to the side. So now I can lower it back down. I can remove the bolts. And then we'll just get the shock out of the way. Alright, so now we got it loosened. And all we do is just kind of spin these out. Well, easier said than done. Might need a little persuasion. Just lightly tap to get them bolts out. Okay, we got this all stacked up, ready to remove the top. So took the spring compressor, we just put them on the lips. Don't forget your safety pins in there. We tighten it down, do it on both ends so it comes down evenly. And at the top there'll be a nut here. I've already taken this off to make sure I know what I was doing before I told you all. So this nut is a 24 millimeter, just like the little cap was on top inside the car. It just zips off real easy. Take this off. The top will come off. You kind of have to fight with it just a little bit. Okay, trying to make a mess. So that comes off, and then the whole spring will come out. So let's see if I can do this. And don't forget the little rubber piece, because you're going to need that on the next one. So now this shock is done, and to tell if it was bad, it doesn't really rebound very fast. It wasn't completely wore out, but it sure wasn't long for this world after 200,000 miles on it and being original equipment. You can't beat that. Okay, the new one we got are Bilsteins. I'm sure everybody has their own little slang of that, but I call it Bilsteins. So part number was 22183644. Now these things are left side and right side. So this is the driver's side, and then this one is for the passenger side. So now everything is just the reverse of how you took it apart. So let me start putting it back together and I'll get back with you. Okay, it's time to put everything back together. So, as you can see, there's a little indentation here that kind of comes around. That's where the coil is supposed to go. So we take our rubber piece from our original one, and it fits just in there. Now, the bottom of the coil, it's going to lay right in there. It's going to follow the track. That's how you know you have it oriented correctly. So, without trying to kill ourselves, we'll put this all back on. Just got to fight with it a little bit to kind of get it all situated just right. So, sorry about the light. we're working outside. There's no garages here. So as you can see, bottom of the coil fits in with that. It all fits in just right. So now all we gotta do, now is put our top cap on, and we will tighten our nut down, and then we'll loosen up. Then we'll loosen up our clamps, so everything will come back the way it's supposed to be. Then it'll go right back in the car. All right, so I've got the shock just set up in there. This washer goes on there and that nut goes on there. Right now I've just got it threaded on there, just a couple threads just to hold it in place so I can put everything in. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna line these up, put them right back in, put the bolts back in there, and doesn't really matter how straight they are. This thing has to go to the alignment shop afterwards. So we're just going to put them in there and be done. I got an alignment shop that's like 2 miles away, and it's not a big deal. Just take the little back roads and it'll be fine. So we put the bolts in there, we'll tighten them down, we'll jack this thing back up like we did before, so we can put our sway bar link back in place where it's supposed to go. And then we'll put that back on there. Then this side will be done. So if there's something I run into, I'll let you know. Other than that, you'll see it when it gets done. Alright, so here is everything all back together. Everything's tight. It's all tightened down. Everything's back in place like it's supposed to be. I got the nut torqued down. This little cover cap for a decorative piece. Other than that is put the wheel on, put your hubcap on, and then definitely has to go to an alignment shop because you're messing with the alignment of everything. So you don't want your tires to wear all funny. But other than that is how you change a shock on a 2012 Chevy Cruze. Now I might have glossed over a couple things. If there's any questions you can ask, I'll be no problem to answer. Yeah, this was on a Chevy Cruze, but pretty much any strut equipped car is going to be practically the same thing. Maybe a couple little nuances that are different, but overall it's the same. So I'll let you go. I'm going to go ahead and do the passenger side, and that'll be it. It's pretty much just a rinse and repeat. So thank you and have a good day. So here's the old struts. We just got them out, got everything cleaned up. I wanted to show you how bad they were. So it doesn't take much to push them down, and you can see how slow they are to react. So while they're not completely blown out, they definitely do not have any cushion to them whatsoever, which is why the tires were kind of wearing funny. Let's just see how slow them are. That just ain't no good. So put the new Bilsteins in there, everything should be good, and who knows, maybe we'll see how long it goes after another 200,000 miles. Alright, car's all done, getting ready to go to the alignment shop. So all in all, it wasn't too bad of a job. Like I said, a couple hours, a few hand tools, nothing much. Rears are even simpler. On this one, it's just straight shocks. So it's pretty straightforward once you get into there. So we'll take it to the alignment shop and we should be good to go. And the wife should be very happy that her car is now riding smooth again. Happy wife, happy life. Thank you.